If you're buying signed cases from marketing agencies, you're not just overpaying, you're losing control of your firm's future. This video is for personal injury law firms who have been pitched the dream of only paying when you get a signed case. Now, these agencies won't guarantee you signed cases because that's actually illegal, but they will sell you on the idea that they'll handle the Google ads and the intake, and all you need to do is be ready for the signed cases to start coming in. But if that sounds too good to be true, it's because 9 times out of 10, it is. I get it. Who doesn't want to buy into that perfect dream scenario where the agency's taking all of the risk, putting their money on the line, and you're only paying for qualified or signed cases? But that's simply not the reality of it. I'm going to show you the smoke in the mirror behind this method. We're breaking down the economics, the red flags, and why this model is a trap, even when it seems like it's going to be a great deal. The real problem with the signed cases method is that you're typically paying 3 to 5 times what it actually cost to generate the lead in the first place. Agencies are baking their profit into the risk they're taking, which is normally double or triple what a Google Ads agency managing an account that you own would charge. And you're not building a pipeline that your firm owns. The agency owns the data, the ads account, and the funnel. You're simply renting the results. Just like renting a house, you get to live there while you're renting it, but once the agreement is up, you're left with nothing. You have zero visibility. You don't know what keywords, ad copy, or intake filter they're using to qualify these leads. And this signed case method often involves lead sharing, which means you're competing for these leads even though you're paying a premium for them. Many of these agencies will offload junk leads just to fill their quotas to you. They're in a rush to fill volume, not quality. And then you often get ghosted when you're trying to get back in contact with them about all the irrelevant leads and cases they've been sending you. You're stuck here with no leverage. If you stop buying the leads will stop overnight. This is kind of like treating your marketing strategy like a vending machine. And probably my biggest issue with this method, and we know this because one of our team members actually worked for a multi-million-dollar agency selling signed cases to personal injury law firms, is there is favoritism. When you come in as a potential client for these firms, they mark you to give you all of the best qualified leads, so that you think, hey, this is really going to work. Then they lock you into these long and sneaky contracts that are really hard to get out of, often for 6 months to a year, investing anywhere from $35,000 to $100,000 a month, whether it's working or not. There's often little things written in the contract that even the most trained and educated lawyers miss when they're reading through it. One example is they were sending a firm out-of-state leads. When he addressed them on it, they said, well, if you look at page whatever in our contract, you'll see that that's within our terms of agreement. The reason they were doing this is they had 2 huge law firms in that state, and they simply couldn't keep up with the supply and demand. So all of their smaller firms were getting old leads, or leads that weren't even relevant to the state that they practiced in. Now, you might be realizing this sounds like a really risky game here, and you'd be right. Here at Legal Lead Sharks, we do things different. We like to refer to ourselves as the anti-agency because a lot of ads agencies for personal injury law firms have gotten a really bad reputation for doing just that. We have a really simple 2-page agreement, which essentially says you agree to work with us for 4 months at minimum, and then you're on a month-to-month after that. The reason for this is setting up, optimizing, and training a Google Ads account takes time. And we're really upfront with our clients. If you can't invest at least 4 months into this strategy, then it would probably be a waste of time for both you and us, because setting up an account that's highly optimized takes a lot of work up front. And if that's the case, you may not be ready for Google Ads just yet. That's exactly why we help law firms build in-house lead machine engines powered by Google Ads and a full funnel system. So you own your pipeline, you control your cost, and you can scale with confidence. In a properly set up and optimized Google Ads account that you own, you'll see that your cost per signed case typically drops over time, that your intake gets faster and more efficient at follow-up, and that the data that we've been collecting over time within your account makes Google's AI smarter and smarter. This is why it pays to own your own account versus investing in someone else's account. Because ultimately, the goal isn't just to get more signed cases today, but to get consistent, profitable growth over time. I like to refer to this as not buying fish, but owning the pond. The biggest disconnect that we normally see between Google Ads agencies for personal injury law and the firm is that most agencies simply set up and run the account and send you an end of month report. And let's be honest, there's a lot of data on this report, and unless you know what you're looking at, it's just a jumbled mess of numbers. You have no idea what's actually working or not working within your Google Ads account. There's also no data feedback loop, meaning once the agency gets those clicks to convert into a call or lead form, they have no idea what's happening after that. There's a massive disconnect. There's no way for us as a Google Ads agency to optimize your account unless we can see what the lead quality looks like from your end. This is why we often refer to ourselves as a fractional CMO or a lead conversion strategist on your team. We need to see which of these calls are not converting and why, so we can go in and optimize your account. This is only going to lead to improved lead quality at a lower price. One example we have is a firm that we help in Texas. They're in the DFW and El Paso area. They started with what is typically referred to as the broad net method in personal injury law, the needle in the haystack. They were getting anywhere from 500 to 800 calls and only seeing 2 to 4 signed cases per month. Now that in and of itself is not a bad deal. We all know that signed case could be anywhere from $10,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue for the law firm. However, because we worked closely with them, we heard their concerns, and we could see what the lead quality looked like. Within 2 months, we were able to drop the call volume to between 150 and 175 calls. 20 of those were qualified leads, and 10 of those turned into signed cases in 1 month. That's a 400% increase without any additional ad spend. That's why it's so important that your ads agency functions almost like a part of your internal team, that we're all on the same page about what's happening after that click turns into a conversion. Obviously, I'm not promising that happens in every case, but I can guarantee you, if you don't have open communication with your Google Ads agency, you're guaranteed never to see those kind of improvements. We've also set up our management fee in more of a commission style structure, meaning the more leads we generate for you that turn into signed cases, the more budget you have to spend on your Google Ads, and the more we make. It's a win-win situation for both of us, and it incentivizes us to do a great job in your account. That said, if you're interested in seeing if we might be a good fit to work together, you can book a discovery call with us. Now, I will say we do offer our clients an exclusivity radius, meaning if we're running ads for you, we're not going to run ads for your competitors at the same time. But that also means that our availability in your area may be limited, which is why you need to book a call and get to us before your competitors do. I'll leave the link to book a call with us in the description below. And there are some other videos on this channel that are going to help your firm's marketing improve and help you avoid the costly mistakes that most people make in this industry. We'll see you in the next video.